On this episode, we head to Bonneville Speed Week 2024, and we take you guys along as we drive a 1929 Ford Coupe through the Nevada desert in over 100-degree temperature. Then we hit the salt and we show you guys the behind-the-scenes footage from the starting line of Bonneville, streamliners running 300 plus miles an hour. Let's go.
Speed is the thing on the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, with hundreds of drivers out to shatter old records in national speed trials. New fuels, new devices to get the most out of engines, and new thrills as time and racing cars fly by. Existing marks don't stand a chance as the speed merchants pour on the coal. The Engineering Achievement Award goes to owner and crew of the Shadoff Special, and an Annan Award to the designer. Stars in his eyes and movie star Kathleen Hughes in his arms. Lucky guy.
Off to Bonneville we go. Let's do it. "7:30 a.m. we hit the road in my 1929 Ford Model A Coupe. We've got the trailer and the gear. We're also bringing along a 1970s Super Beetle. As we head up 395, we're going to make our first stop here at this lonely gas station. How's it running? It's running real good. Get a little top off here at, we just passed what, Red Mountain? Mm-hmm. What's this? You know this little town?
No, not
the
right
outskirts
here.
of Red Mountain.
Yeah. I know Lone Pine.
Lone Pine.
Yeah.
We continue to make headway on 395 northbound. We got this little coupe in 5th gear overdrive, and we're just burning miles right under the tires. Bishop. All right, we're gassed up in Bishop. Now we're headed to Tonopah, middle of the desert, Nevada. Let's do it. We head north for just a few miles, and the highway turns east abruptly. Now we're eastbound and down, headed to the old silver mining town of Tonopah, Nevada. Tonopah, Nevada. It's an old silver mining town. As we exit the town up here, there's 2 hotels that are late 1800s, early 1900s. The Mitzvah, and the other one I think is the hotel. I don't know, I can't see it, but they're very historic. And our buddy Sauce, the boss, stayed there last year in the most haunted room in the Mitzvah. Anyways, it's a neat town. Also, the Tonopah test site, where they dropped a lot of bombs, and they do a lot of testing from Area 51 out here too. I've been on a lot of the roads in the Southwest, and coming across the 6 into Tonopah. It's probably the loneliest road that I've ever been on, and it's pretty intense. There's nothing out there, and I don't know, it's at least 100 degrees today. Last year we crossed it and it was way cooler and it was greener. This year it's really dry, and we obviously have a skeleton crew, so it's just the 2 rigs. But man, the car's great. It's just running like a top. So if you start to think about it a little bit too much, you start to worry like, oh man, if we break down out here, we're doomed. But everything's great. I get a little bit of hot inside, and I just start pouring water all over myself, down my back, all over my pants, and it dries in like 10 minutes. So, cheap way to cool down. Leaving Tonopah, Nevada, the heat was really starting to get intense. So luckily, as we make a left turn here, we start to gain in elevation, coming up to 3, 4, and 5,000 feet. Temperatures start to drop. The coupe is running great. Put it in high gear, and we cross these deserts at higher elevation. Finally, we get up into the 7,000 foot area, and everything turns green. We're about 650 miles in, and we stopped up here to get a cold drink. 7,000 foot elevation. We pull over. Sometimes you have car troubles. It's not this you have to worry about. It's the modern vehicles that are giving us problems right now. Luckily, it's just a radiator cap, and we can get a new one when we get into town. It's okay, we'll take that, because that little coupe is a charger. This is the third Bonneville trip, and man, that car is such a trooper. As the sun sets on day one, we make our way towards Ely, Nevada, and it's going to be home for the night. Made it, 12 hours. Exhausted. Every year on our trip to Bonneville, we stop off in Ely, Nevada, and get a good night's rest at Hotel Nevada. This is a great historic town that was founded as a stagecoach station from the original Pony Express, and man, they have the history littered on the walls to prove it. It's an old cowboy mining town, and still to this day, most people in the town make a living from the mines that surround the area. We are leaving Ely, Nevada. Stayed at the historic Hotel Nevada last night. It's kind of our go-to spot every time we're in town. And I just did a little check over every morning of the car. Everything looks really good, but I do have a little fuel leak down here. I think it's just the clamp, so no big deal. We're just gonna tighten it up, and that should do it. Leaving Ely, Nevada, we stop by the Napa Auto Parts and we grab a radiator cap for the Dodge. Then we hit 93 northbound, throw it in high gear, and hit the hammer. We're making good time here as we pull into West Wendover and we get the first views of the Salt. We top off the fuel tanks on the Dodge and the Model A Coupe, and we make the 5-minute drive from West Wendover to the Bonneville Salt Flats. As we come down the off-ramp here, we get the first glimpse of the flats. This is the historic bend in the road where everyone camps, so we pull off and we set up camp. Home for the next 3 nights. You get that same sensation every time you make the transfer from asphalt to salt. Here, we're blessing the cars and giving our appreciation to the speed gods. Finally, the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Gotta get the stickers, huh?
Yeah, every year we throw a sticker on the car. This trip marks 8 years in a row for me. To say the least, I'm addicted to the salt. So Friday night at the Nugget Hotel in Wendover, everybody gets together with their hot rods and pulls them up into the parking lot. We all have a great time talking cars, shaking hands with people from all over the world. This is hot rodding.
My name is Allison Volkdean, also known as the Salt Princess, the Highboy Honey, the Bonneville Belle. I have been racing out here. I've been coming out to the Salt Flats since I was born, so 44 years. I was the 13th girl to get in the Bonneville 200 mile an hour club. Got it in a Highboy Roadster. It was a gas roadster, 236 miles an hour. And I also do a podcast. It's called Land Speed Legends. You can find it on anywhere you get podcasts. And I interview all sorts of racers, big racers that have gone 400 miles an hour to racers that race bikes at 80 miles an hour, just to talk to them about how they're legendary just for doing the thing that they're doing. Just to get out there. It's hard to get out here. It's hard to race a car, and you're legendary for doing that. And I think that these guys should be, and gals, should be highlighted for their accomplishments.
This is the first time really that I've met a woman that is wearing the red hat.
Okay.
So what is it like going over 200 miles an hour?
So I was in a Highboy Roadster going over 200 miles an hour. I went 236 was my record. So when you're in a Highboy, you're in an open cockpit. You're not enclosed. So it is pretty intense with the wind speed. Like at a certain speed, your helmet starts pushing up from the wind, and there's a certain speed that it rocks out. I love it. You start to like shake, and then it smooths out, but it's like so many emotions and feelings at one time. It's like exciting and fun and scary and thrilling and terrifying. That's how I would explain it. It's just all these emotions at one time. And I just remember one time looking down and thinking, going, holy shit, I'm going fast right now. And I was just like, it was a great feeling. I loved it. And I loved thinking about how fast I went the whole ride home that year.
What's happening? We're here at the Nugget, Bonneville Salt Flats. My buddy Noah, the hot rod kid. You just got into town?
We just got into town earlier today. We drove my 57 F100, so it took 2 days and just got here today.
Where'd you drive from, dude?
McMinnville, Oregon. So from McMinnville to here, it's about 770 to 800 miles.
So I was just telling him there's probably only 5% of the cars here that actually drove to Bonneville. And he's one of the 5%. And I am too.
Yeah. It's a little bit more suffering, but it's all worth it. It's more adventure, so.
100%.
Yeah.
We'll show the car. Let's go check it out. That's it for day one at Bonneville. We're at the Nugget. We're going to head back to camp. Every year we camp out at the Bend in the Salt Flats, which is super fun. So we're going to head back to camp, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Opening day of Speed Week. Everything depends on the conditions of the salt, and Mother Nature has blessed us with some of the best conditions of the last few years. Really cool. What's your name?
Bob Morales.
Bob?
Yeah, at that time I was a Floyd Lippincott Jr.
Okay.
The drag racing biggest pull up.
Yeah, okay. That's very nice to meet you. My name is Brian Mackey.
How many times have you been here?
This is my 8th year in a row.
Good for you.
Yeah.
John Peters and I, Frank, they were very much involved with the Breedlove project.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny and I built the first 3-wheel car in Greg's shop. They're all Santa Monica guys.
Sure, yeah.
Greg was a year old, and we lost him about 2 years ago.
So, did you grow up in that area too? Or
No, I was a Burbank guy.
Burbank, okay.
I was in the original Road Kings of Burbank.
Yeah.
Me and Pallone got initiated together, and
Okay.
Tommy Ivo, and there's 8 of us in the Hall of Fame now out of that one club. I buried a lot of guys because we were a bunch of test pilots back there. I was the first guy to put a parachute on the dragster in 1957. Because Jim Dees was a customer of mine. I was a Maytag repairman for 75 years.
Wow.
So I found this thing about life I want you to have. Clock of life. And then the car I got famous on is behind on the seat.
Yep.
I had to talk to you because of that.
Yeah. No, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what an honor to meet you.
No, we're all here together.
Yeah, but
How long is it for?
Perhaps 5 miles timed.
5 miles.
Then we've got 4 more miles out the back end. It's in good shape. So.
and how many courses?
9 miles.
How many open today?
We're up here with one of these.
How many are they running a rookie?
Just the 2 courses.
Okay.
Just this one and the other one. Rookies all go to that course though.
All right.
This will be the most fast car here.
The Southern California Timing Association, also known as the SCTA, is very strict for a good reason. They make sure these guys are the safest that they can possibly be as they make passes in these streamliners. Thank you, SCTA. We appreciate you. Long live the Southern California Timing Association. What do you say? Let's sit back and watch land speed racing. So, after a long day on the salt, everybody gets together at the town watering hole. This place is called Carmen's Black and White. Historic Bonneville bar when the walls are filled with land speed racers, signatures, and photos. As we wake up to a beautiful sunrise, it's our last day on the Bonneville Salt Flats. All right,
Worth it.
let's see how far I can get.
Hello, man.
I think he'll be alright.
We had this much fun buying a transmission.
As we gear up to leave the Salt Flats, it's always bittersweet, but we know we have a long journey ahead of us, 700 miles back to Southern California. We're in Wendover, Utah, home of the Bonneville Salt Flats. Ely, Nevada. Made it to Lund, Nevada. Now we're in Alamo, Nevada. Made it to Vegas. Gas station slots. Better luck next time. From Vegas, we head all the way home straight to Southern California, and this completes what we call the Bonneville Loop. Huntington Beach out to Bonneville and back through 3 states. All right, it's the next morning and we are unloading from our Bonneville trip. It was a success. We drove home yesterday. We left at 1 p.m. in Bonneville and we were home by 1 a.m. We did stop and eat, but it's about an 11-hour trip. And it was pretty uneventful on the way home. It was hot, but everything ran great. The trucks, the cars. So we're unloading and another year in the books. Can't wait for next year, and eventually we're going to build a Bonneville car and we'll start racing. Thanks for watching. What's up everybody, Brian from Mackey's Hot Rod Shop with our YouTube channel, Mackey and Machine. We wanted to say thank you guys for subscribing. The numbers are growing way faster than we ever expected. So a quick overview, we're giving away a box of merchandise for every new 1,000 subscribers. We bundle everybody together, we pick one number, and we send out all this merchandise straight to your door. It's just a way to say thank you, so we really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, do so now because we're continuing our content in a hot rod shop, bicycles, motorcycles, planes, trains, boats, all of it here on Mackey and Machine. We've got a ton of new content for you guys. The best part of all, real quick, is a 1940 Ford giveaway as soon as we hit 50,000 subscribers. What do you have to do? Hit the subscribe button. That's it. We keep track of everything else. Thank you again. We'll see you on the next one.